Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's been a while since I've done a live video on my page. So I'm getting ready to host an event tonight and I just live in a small town in the Midwest, and it's an event that I'll probably know most everybody there, but still before any type of public speaking gig, generally go through this sort of panic mode where I was sick back in January and February, and I made this sort of New Year's resolution. Well, not really New Year's resolution because I never make those. I always break them. So, but I wanted to lose weight and not even lose weight. I actually just wanted to get back in the gym because when I exercise, I feel better about myself. But I was really sick with the flu, and then I had a awful sinus infection. So I was basically sick the whole month of January, or about mid-January through the end of February, really. And when you're not feeling well, that's the last thing you want to do is go work out. I mean, it was all I could do to shower and get up and go to work. So anyway, now I'm on the heels of hosting this event, and I'm kind of actually hoping they forgot they asked me to host it, to be honest. So I'm just going to plug in my mic a little bit more, make sure that you can hear me. Anyway, so I went through this whole panicking moment. And then, and it was really more like, oh, I feel fat. Well, I feel ugly. And I just kind of think everyone goes through that. And if you do go through that, just what really helped me was actually watching a video, a documentary about a woman in Australia who did this whole body image thing, and it's called Embrace. So if you get a chance to watch that, I don't care if you're male, female, whatever, watch it. It will help you. But that's not the secret I'm going to tell you about today. Today I'm going to tell you one secret I just learned about public speaking. And it was it was one of those things that I'd always known about unconsciously, but I really didn't know it. I did it, but I knew it was there, but I didn't really know it, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm obsessed with Donald Miller's Story Brand podcast. Love, 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 love. If you don't listen to the podcast, go to storybrand.com and get information. And no, I am not paid to say that. I love it. I just love it. It's amazing. So, StoryBrand helps you clarify your message. But anyway, they also give you such great business tips and advice. So recently, excuse me, Donald had a guest on his show, and his name is Mike Pacquione. And Mike works for a communications firm called Duarte. And he gives like 70 speeches a year, and he basically teaches people on public speaking. So it was a recent podcast, and you can check that out at storybrand.com. It was like maybe in the last 3 podcasts that they've had, and they come out weekly on Monday. Anyway, one of the things he said, and this totally stuck with me, was that your audience mirrors your emotions. So while I'm up on stage, and while you're up on stage, whether you're hosting an event, whether you're giving a keynote, if you're speaking at your church, at your club, whatever, even in a small group, if you run a small group, your audience mirrors your emotions. So the whole thing is that you tell them whether or not to be comfortable with you. And the only way you can tell them to be comfortable with you is if you're comfortable with yourself. So if you're not comfortable with yourself, no one else is going to be comfortable with you. And it's kind of one of those really unspoken things. If you've ever heard someone speak and kind of cringed, and you're not really sure why, you really can't put your finger on it, that's why. They're not uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with themselves, or they're not comfortable with themselves. Same thing. Anyway, love live video. So I just thought that was really, really interesting. And, in radio, I was in radio broadcasting for 8 years. So I got really comfortable with myself, broadcasting at live events and talking on the radio. And And it's kind of one of those things, when I very first heard the sound of my voice, I went, ooh, is that what I sound like? When I saw myself on video for the first time, I'm like, ooh, is that what I look like? See, I think I look like a supermodel. And then I look at the video and I'm like, oh, no, Dana. It's okay, I'm a supermodel inside. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Anyway, we've all been there, right? Where we see a picture of ourselves and we're like, and it's never taken from the best angle. Or we hear a voice for the first time, we're like, ooh. So really the only way you can do that is practice. And also remember that if you're self-conscious about something, other people will notice it. But if you just own it, people don't care. People are too busy, wrapped up in their own lives to actually even care what you're doing. And that has always helped me. Anytime I go anywhere and I'm like, what am I going to wear? I think, Dana, nobody cares. Nobody's going to remember what you're wearing. Everybody cares about what they're wearing and what they're doing and how they look and how they're perceived. And when you really understand that, it gives you a freedom to be yourself. And when you're comfortable with yourself, your audience is going to be comfortable with you, and it's going to go a lot more smoother. Whether, like I said, whether it's a small group, an office meeting, if you're running an office meeting, from keynote speakers to, maybe you're preaching at your church or teaching Sunday school or something like that. Just remember, our audience mirrors our emotions. When we're comfortable with ourselves, our audience will be comfortable with us. So that's the secret. If you're not comfortable with yourself, no one else will be. And the only way to get comfortable with yourself, practice, 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 practice. And remember that nobody cares really how you sound or what you look like, because they're more wrapped up in what they look like and how they sound. So with that, I guess that's it. I just wanted to help you out there. For all of you that are going to Luck of the Irish tonight, it's going to be fun. Hopefully they give me a Britney Spears microphone or something, like a Backstreet Boys mic, that I can be all like, everybody, rock your body. I might be a little too comfortable with myself. With that, I'm out. Love you guys.